Hey, today's topic is going to be a bit difficult. I'm gonna say a few words about basic financial management and fundraising. Please stay focused, stay with me, do not be a flat line, hear me out. Starting up a social or cultural enterprise is difficult, and for most entrepreneurs, the most challenging aspect is to raise the startup capital. The startup cost includes one-time initial expenses of the enterprise, such as equipment, renovation of the place without layout design, water, electricity connections and devices, heating, etc. In addition to these costs, the enterprise has also the optional costs such as the rent, internet services, business supplies, etc. Let's talk about all the types of expenses you may have into consideration while calculating your startup capital. Type of expenses: expected salary of the business owner, staff salaries, rent or lease of machinery, advertising, business supplies, delivery expense, transportation, telephone, fax, internet service, electricity and power bill, other utilities, insurance, taxes including employment, interests, legal and other professional fees, maintenance of costs and miscalculations. We also cannot forget about typical expenses to startups such as fixtures and equipment, decorating and remodeling, installation of fixtures and equipment, starting inventory, legal and professional fees, deposits with public utilities, licenses and permits, advertising and promotion for opening and initial capital of the company. It's all about money. The price of the product is objective, while a price of service is subjective. Pricing is a tactic that companies use to define products or services values when compared to work and time of production and material used. Pricing is the process you use to set the price of your product or service. Pricing your products and services can be difficult to determine. If you set your prices too high, your customers may find your products too expensive. However, you can also affect your profits if you set your prices too low. Before you calculate your price, it's useful to calculate how much it costs to produce or deliver your product or service. When coming to a figure, always consider the cost of producing your product or service as well as your overheads. Don't forget to also factor in goods and services tax, GST, and other relevant taxes in your costing. When you're pricing your product or services, you need to remember to include manufacturing cost, marketplace, competition, market condition, brand, quality of product. Once you know the true cost of your product or service, you can then start analyzing other influences and set your objectives and strategies. A key consideration when you develop your pricing strategy is to understand your objectives when you price your product or services. One objective of pricing is to make a profit on your products or services, but there are many other pricing objectives that can affect your pricing decisions, including position in the market, competitors' positioning, ability to supply or to increase demand. Positioning. Positioning can help you establish your product or services in the market. For example, your business might sell high-end products, try to compete on price or get into the budget level market. Price can indicate a level of quality, so it's important that the price of your products or services complement your overall brand. Remaining competitive. For many businesses, being price competitive is important, whether a price leader or responding to the competition. When setting prices, it's always important to anticipate what your competition will do in response to your prices and ensure that they factor it into your strategy. And increasing demand. Using price to increase demand in new or existing products or services can be a good objective for establishing customers or boosting lagging sales. When multiple products or services are involved, it's a good idea to be aware of how the prices complement each other. It's important to keep your business and marketing objectives in mind while developing your pricing objectives to ensure they're complementary one to another. By establishing your pricing objectives early, your choice of strategy may be easier to determine. There are a number of pricing strategies you can employ when setting a price, including strategies based on costs, competition, perceived value, and product. When choosing your pricing strategy, it's also important to keep your overall marketing strategy in mind to ensure your strategies complement one another. Cost-based pricing strategies. Cost plus pricing, a strategy that adds a small margin to mark up to the cost of producing and distributing the product or service. Care should be taken while calculating a price to ensure that all relevant costs, such as costs of goods sold, fixed costs including goods and service tax, GST, and other taxes are factored in. If your calculations are accurate, this strategy can keep your price competitive while ensuring that you still make a profit. Charge per hour. This strategy is often used by service-based businesses and independent contractors. The per hour method calculates all the relevant costs of the business at an hourly rate. When using this method, it's important to factor in all your business's costs and not overlook taxes, a wage for yourself, superannuation, and leave entitlements. Competition-based pricing strategies. Going rate pricing. This strategy is safe for small businesses to remain competitive without eating into profits. The strategy means you price your product and services close to the market price leader. Value-based pricing strategies. There's a number of value-based pricing strategies you can use, including value pricing. This strategy is based on what customers think a product or service is worth, rather than actual costs. The value is determined through market testing and a price is set based on this value. For example, sometimes customers will pay more if it saves them a lot of time. The price reflects the saving. Premium pricing. This strategy reflects the prestige, luxury, or exclusive value of the products or services you provide. Typically, at the premium price, customers have high expectations of quality, performance, and services. And product-based pricing strategies. There's a number of product-based pricing strategies that you can use, including penetration pricing. This strategy provides you the opportunity to set a low initial price on a new product or service to gain high sales or market share. Once this point is reached, the prices are increased to normal pricing levels. Skimming pricing. This strategy sets a high initial price which aims to excite audiences who desire products or services that are in high demand and are highly valued. Once the required profits are made, the price is then lowered for a wider market. And loss leader pricing. This strategy aims to attract customers by offering a product or service at below cost. The strategy hopes that customers will also purchase other products or services with a higher profit margin. When you price your products or services or even advertise a price, you need to comply with regulations. Comparative pricing: when you compare the current price of a product to a previous price, you must make sure you don't mislead customers. If you are untruthful in any way, you will be in breach of the consumer law. Recommended retail price, RRP. This price is only a recommendation to a retailer. It's illegal for a supplier to pressure resellers into selling products at or above certain prices, or threaten to cut off supplies if price demands are not met. Predatory pricing. This pricing occurs when a business with significant market share reduces the prices for the purposes of eliminating or damaging smaller competitors. Predatory pricing is anti-competitive. Price fixing. This practice is illegal in most of the countries. Price fixing is where two or more competitors agree on setting prices or agree to charge certain fees. Parallel pricing. This practice follows the pricing practices of other businesses, mainly competitors. This is illegal when it's a concerted practice between businesses and it substantially reduces competition. Multiply pricing. This is typically done in era when a good is advertised with more than one displayed price. Under consumer law, a business must either sell the goods at lower price or withdraw the good from the sale until the price is corrected. This does not apply when advertisements state that prices vary in different regions, a price is hidden by another price, a price is displayed in an overseas currency, or unit price. Unit pricing code. This regulation ensures that retailers calculate a standard measurement unit price, such as liters or grams. Unit pricing allows customers to compare the price and value of similar types of products. Under the unit pricing code, it is compulsory for certain retailers to display both a product price and a unit price for grocery items. And credit card surcharging. You must clearly label any credit card surcharges that apply to your products or services. You can only charge what it costs you to accept that payment method. Research can help you find the optimum price for your products. Generally, the optimum price is one that your customers are willing to pay without it affecting your profits. This isn't one-off activity. You must monitor your key pricing influences regularly as part of your overall market research to ensure your prices stay competitive and you still meet your customers' expectations. Market testing. To help you determine how much your customers are willing to pay for your product or service, you should perform some form of market testing. As a start, research your customers' purchasing behavior, such as the current and anticipated demand for this type of product or service, what they pay for similar products or services, the quantity likely to be purchased, additional features they value. With this customer information in mind, you can develop a price comparison offering a number of different products or service options for testing to help you determine a price range that is acceptable. Competitors. You should have already determined who your direct competitors are and how your business compares to them when you developed your marketing plan. This information can be useful to help you determine your price point. If you decide to use your competitors' prices as a guide, be careful that it doesn't dictate your prices too much, as it can seriously undervalue your product or service and drive down your profits. When you compare your business to competitors, it is also important to ensure you look at the business as a whole and compare on other value-based traits such as special features, quality, and customer service, as well as the price. Influences. Pricing influences are external factors that can impact the price of products. Four influences that you may encounter include price sensitivity, level of demand, level of competition, and government regulation. Price sensitivity refers to price fluctuations as customer demand increases and decreases. For example, commodity goods such as petrol have high price sensitivity. The difference of a few cents in price can impact a customer's behavior. Some markets are more sensitive to price increases than others. Price sensitivity can change over time based on a number of factors, including changes in the economic environment, competition, or demand. Factors other than price, such as quality, service, or uniqueness, can also influence the price sensitivity. Level of demand. Product and service demand can influence your prices. If there is a high demand, it is likely you can increase your price. Price can also influence demand. For example, if the price lowers, then demand can temporarily increase. Level of competition. Competition can also influence your products or services price. In general, the less competition you have, the more demand there is for your product. If a new competitor enters the market, the competitor can affect your price. And government regulations. Government regulations can influence your pricing decision, as additional fees or levies may increase the sale price of your product or service. Fundraising is complicated process. It requires a lot of time and work. A founder will meet many types of investors along the way, but the most common are the investors who doubt her as founder. A founder has embraced the rejection as a part of the process and does not take it personally. Reaching an investor isn't an easy task, but the key thing is to ask and keep on asking. It is crucial to tell the investors about your beneficiaries and clarify the way that they could support. The most challenging part is to get in touch with them. There are a lot of practices that a founder can follow in order to reach an investor directly and efficiently. An investor should have the capital to support you, an expertise sector dealing experience, and a big network and a vision close to yours. There are some fundraising sources you can reach out to. It's government funding. Government grants is an agreed amount of money given by government or legal organization for a specific purpose. You can apply for grants to your local council or to any awarding body in your local area. Grants help the business start. Family and friends. If you don't have an appropriate capital to start your business, family and friends is the one of the usual and immediate solutions. And crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is another way that business can seek money for their startup, finance a project, or expand their operations. Crowdfunding can be achieved through internet in the form of donations or investments. A founder, in order to go fundraising, will need to prepare all the materials that will be used to introduce his or her idea to potential investors. Such materials is the one-page leaflet which must include and present all the details about the financial strategy and the actions to be executed. This leaflet has formal and high quality. You need to use formal and enriched vocabulary. It must be responsive to other devices such as mobile phones, tablets, or iPads. It also has to be informative and clear. That's it for now. Stay focused because the next video is going to be our last one. See you soon!